Hi, today Barbara, Tilila, Kristen, and Laith will be presenting to you Flywheel and Healthcare Students Pillared. To start the presentation off, I, Barbara, will talk about the flywheel. As you can see on the presentation, there's the wheel that indicates our information on the principles, the pillar results, and passion, how Hardwire Excellence will talk about this further. Hardwire Excellence Healthcare Flywheel is an integrated process used in healthcare that allows organizations' employees to take ownership, which will allow them to reconnect values and be passionate. It allows them to set aside denial and work towards a common goal. And rationalizing is abandoned and blame is no longer placed, which doesn't allow one team to blame the other team for not being able to succeed any further. So this is definitely a good management tool to use. And then that will also allow employees to reconnect values and be passionate about their work and work towards the company goals. That will have them with prescriptive to-dos, which allows the flywheel to continuously turn. While this affects the healthcare management, it will also ensure that processes run effectively and company matrices are met and the organization is not only financially stable, but is designated as a place with high standards of work that will market confident, educated employees. As we move into more of the hardwired excellence, Tilila will talk about Firestarter for now.
A great reputation to have in an organization is being a fire starter. 3 characteristics of a fire starter are building confidence in others. For example, making your employees feel that they are worthwhile and important. Another characteristic would be to acknowledge when others are doing positive things rather than focusing on the negative aspects. The third characteristic would be to promote teamwork. Encourage your team to work with each other, with one another, and let them know that their contributions are an asset to the organization. Fire starter qualities include being a motivator. A motivator will tell your team that they can do whatever they put their minds to in an organization, which means that they can move up on the ladder, on the corporate ladder as many times as possible. They're also a peacemaker. They're able to resolve conflict by pointing out how having differences of opinion can be healthy in an organization. Another quality is a fire starter is able to offer compliments. It's basically telling your team that they're doing a great job for whatever they're trying to accomplish, as, for example, meeting deadlines. Another quality of a fire starter is being influential. A fire starter has the ability to influence others to act in a certain way. The merits of being a fire starter includes increased motivation, which leads to morality, which then leads to increased productivity, and finally, increased revenue.
As we move further in, we're going to talk about the students' 5 pillars of hardwire excellence and how it works and manages towards our case study of nursing patients falling in a nursing home. So as we move through that, one of the pillars is people. And of the people, it's management, clinical staff, and patients would be considered people in these pillars and how they can work towards making sure that they're meeting these qualities and the excellence. Management would be doing this by ensuring that policies are put in place for clinical staff to follow standard patient safety measures and employ or implement fall prevention committee programs. And then our clinical staff would definitely ensure that they're following these protocols, that they are communicating any hazards to managers and or fellow workers to ensure that the safety protocols are followed and that are put in place to not have any patients falling. And then in the same aspect, we want to make sure that our patients are aware that these protocols are put in place in their families so they understand what they are and can also identify any hazards and make sure that they're notifying the clinical staff and or management to ensure that they don't have fellow patients falling also. And as we move through, we'll talk about the other pillars, and I'm going to turn this over to Kristen.
The next pillar that we're going to discuss is quality, which includes hourly rounding on patients, bedside shift reports, making sure that the patient has appropriate wear like the socks or the wristband to let staff know that they are a high risk fall, making sure bed alarms are on, and make sure that the call lights are within reach of the patient. And also, when you're doing your hourly rounding, making sure that the patient if they need any assistance with toileting, or if they're incontinent, making sure that the patient is dry. The next pillar that I'm going to talk about is growth. To cut costs by taking proper protocol to reduce falls, which can lead to increase of patient injuries. Building community trust by having increased physician activity, patient satisfactory questionnaires, which also helps an organization know what we are doing good and what improvements need to be made. We are here to service our patients and make sure their voice is heard. This is how we build community trust as well.
The next pillar we're going to be talking about is service. In order to repair the reputation of the nursing home, we must act on the pillar of service in order to get the organization in the best shape that it can be. We need to improve access and patient satisfaction scores, and we also need to put an emphasis on customer service, make sure that we are treating each patient with the utmost respect that they deserve. Encouraging our entire staff to work on their customer service skills will also help. It'll improve the moods of our patients and the quality of care that they receive. We need constant, if not 24/7, monitoring of our patients in order to ensure they don't fall. Making sure we are there whenever they need us, and making sure that we don't let them do any activities alone will help prevent any mistakes on our part. Patient injuries are 100% preventable, and putting the right strict protocol into place will be the only way to boost our reputation and provide the safest atmosphere for our patients. The next pillar that we're going to talk about is financial. The financial pillar we really need to focus on in order to see the success of our nursing home. Due to the injuries, we must really make it a point to provide our great services at the best possible value. Investing in our infrastructure and in our amenities for our seniors, even ones that can help prevent falls, is something that should be looked at. It'll keep us really competitive compared to other nursing homes, and it may seem like a large expense at first, but adding more guardrails, providing floors with more traction, and other amenities such as that in our facility can help reduce patient falls immensely. The community will feel more at ease about sending their elderly loved ones to us once they see how safe our facility is, and how much we like to invest in order to make our patients as satisfied and as safe as possible.